Alright, we're getting ready to clean 3 bedroom carpets. Let's see, take a quick look. They're not too bad. So this last room looks like. Okay, the first thing is going to be the pre-vacuuming, so we'll get everything ready and start doing that real quick and get all this loose debris, fine dirt off the floor that we can. Just stay tuned. Okay, well, we've done the pre-vac now. It took about an hour because, as I've said in some of my other videos, these household vacs, we had to unclog this like 6 times. The filter clogs up super fast. The hoses clog up super fast. The belt gets clogged with hair. And if we don't stop and clean it, it'll burn the motor out. So this is the reason that we use that wet dry vac with the carpet nozzle so much. Luckily, we had a little bucket head vac along with us to help clean the filter and help blow out all the ports and everything in this thing. So that's the verdict on this. It's an okay household vacuum for people that maintain their carpets. It's not going to work for carpet cleaning. You need to have something a lot more powerful with a better filtration system. So that's all there is on that vacuum. All right, we started in the first bedroom now. We put the pre-spray down, soaked the bonnet in water, wrung it out, and now he's going, and you can see the nap of the carpet's being restored. It took a while, but we got basically all the loose dirt out, so, and that's very important in any method of carpet cleaning, that you get a good pre-vacuum, get all the dirt that you can out with a vacuum cleaner before you start.
I actually run a brush over this to pre-scrub with. We just didn't get it on video this time because we had other things going on, so.
One nice thing about this Oreck is it's only pulling a little over 5 amps as compared to most extractors. There's a lot of these apartments we've been in that the electrical system, you keep blowing breakers right and left trying to run bigger machines because of the vacuum motors. And this thing not only is real quiet, but it doesn't pull a lot of amps, so you don't blow your breakers. So that's kind of nice if you end up doing a property that has marginal electrical service in it. This thing will usually run where other equipment won't. I'm going to show you real quick while he's doing this, I'll show you the brush for those who haven't really seen it. See what he did with that thing. Aha. Okay, this is the Oreck carpet brush, and it snaps on, just fits on the bottom of the drive plate on the machine. It's not a real stiff, aggressive brush. It's softer, so it won't damage the carpets, and as you can see, it gets kind of dirty when you use it. It's easy to clean. When you store this thing, you just don't you want to make sure you don't store it where the bristles are pressed down. You want to kind of set it flat on a surface where it won't get touched by anything, and that'll preserve it. So that's pretty easy to use to get if you want to get your pre-spray put into the carpet without picking it up. That's a great tool because you can scrub the pre-spray and scrub it, and it's still going to be there until you bonnet clean it. See how he's doing in here. Looks like it's going to town. It's really nice to be able to just put a pad on the ground and start cleaning, and you really don't have to stop unless you feel the pad's getting too dry, or if you want to add a little more pre-spray down or something like that. So it's really easy to just go, and you don't have to stop for anything except maybe to move your power cord. And with a 50-foot power cord, you don't have to move it very often. And it's it's aggressive on stains and embedded dirt, but it's not hard on the fibers of the carpet, so it's a really great method because it restores the nap, but you don't have to worry about doing it too often and ruining your carpet because it's just not that kind of a method. And since it's orbital, sometimes you may see the bonnet barely spins, but that's because it's still scrubbing. The more drag you put on, the more it can slow down the actual rotational speed.
It's still orbiting.
It's still orbiting.
And that's the true painting part of it anyway, is the orbit. Here, this is a traffic pattern a little bit.
One more line. Yeah, you always want to hit your thresholds pretty good because that's where most of the dirt's going to be, and then traffic patterns in the room. Okay, we're in the second bedroom. Like the other one, it's already pre-sprayed, and the bonnet's still damp, so it's working fine. Now those of you who have ever operated a rub doctor, maybe a Big Green or one of the other larger machines like you can rent, you've probably noticed that they are a little bit hard to maneuver at times because of the size of vacuum motors and the capacity of the tanks you're dealing with. They're big, and this machine is real easy to maneuver. Step over here. And it's a lot less tiring to run it. If you're going to end up running a machine for several hours in one day, this machine isn't going to hurt your back. Whereas with those machines, at the end of the day, you're going to know you've been working. Another thing to keep in mind, these carpets are only slightly damp when we're doing this job. So the carpets are going to be dry within an hour after we leave. And that makes a big difference. When we were using the extractors before, you have carpets, we knew how to do it, so where they're dry in maybe 2 to 3 hours. But that's still a lot of time that people really can't walk on the carpet and use it. This method makes the carpet so it's usable right away. So that's a good thing. Also, compared to regular extractor machines, closets are simple with this machine. You can zip in there and get all the parts, and there's always parts that are really hard to get with the regular extractor, and you may not be able to get them. With this method, you can get everything.
Yeah, it's really great for closets.
Now this same bonnet that we're cleaning carpets with, you can actually use it to maintain your floors. So if you wanted to, you could actually just take that thing and ride right out into the hallway, onto the hard floor, and you could clean the hard floors too. So it's kind of nice because it's able to clean everything in your house. And if you're doing, if you're working on a rental property or something like that, you've got a machine that's versatile because you can use it for lots of different things. You ready to go to the next room?
Ready to go to the next room, yeah.
Okay, and it's just right here. So this will be the last room. So compared to using a Rug Doctor, this will be green. This thing's a lot faster. Now granted, this carpet hasn't had a lot of bad stains in it or anything to deal with, but even when we do have stains, we can go a lot quicker with this machine. So for someone who's trying to do this for a little side business or maintaining some of their rental properties, time is money. And so this machine's going to get you done quicker and get you out. And when you look at the way the carpets are when they're done, they're pretty much dry. You're not going to come back the next day and find that some of the things wicked back or something because you had too much moisture left behind. Now the Rug Doctor's a great machine, but you have to learn how to use it. The problem with the Rug Doctor, like most any machine, is you go rent it at the supermarket or something, take it home, and unless you've used one a lot, you don't even know how to set the handles right. You don't know about using pre-sprays. You put the soap into the tank because that's what they tell you to do, and it just doesn't work as well.
Here's a really good point about the bumper. Every pass is a cleaning pass. When I go forward, I'm cleaning. When I go backwards, I'm cleaning. With a Rug Doctor, Visible Grain machine, any of those machines that are self-contained extractors, the first pass forward is not a cleaning pass. The first pass forward, you're actually maneuvering the machine to go backwards. On this, every pass is a cleaning pass. And that means if it takes 40 passes with a Rug Doctor, it takes 20 passes with this. That's a lot less work. In the long run, that'll save you a lot of being tired.
Yeah, this is not anywhere like the carpets we generally do. Most of the carpets we do are a lot dirtier than this. This one needed a lot of vacuuming because it had a ton of hair in it. It had a lot of other just dust and dirt and debris, but there's hardly any stains to deal with. So this is a pretty quick job, which is, lucky for us. But it's a good way to show too that this machine is a pretty fast method because you can pretty much do like the whole first floor of your house in a half hour. And you don't have to deal with buckets of water, and you don't have to deal with all the other stuff that goes on with using an extractor. And we've got the same X3 we've been using for several years now, and we've cleaned hundreds of apartments with it, and it still actually works great, and it's going strong, and we like that machine. We wouldn't even consider getting rid of it. But we just, after using it for several years and doing so much work with it, we're happy to find a new method that's a little bit less stressful on your body. This thing's a lot easier to deal with, and the noise of a Rug Doctor, they're not the loudest machine in the world. They're still loud enough that at the end of the day, you know you've been in a loud environment. So this is definitely a lot quieter. I'm using normal conversational levels here. I'm not having to talk super loud, so that's kind of a nice thing. It's a quiet way to clean your house. Now if you wanted to try one of these out, in some communities, the Oreck stores rent these things so people can take them home and clean their carpet with it or clean their floors. If you're interested in trying one out, you might check your yellow page to see if there's an Oreck dealer nearby, and you can at least go sample the machine. They're not the least expensive place to buy one, however, but at least you can get one and try it out.
Yep.
And I think if you took one home and played with it for a while, you'd find they're a great, great machine. So he's basically done, he's wiping the cords up. One little modification that we've made, which isn't a big deal, we've sealed the top here because what happens when you're working in some of these apartments, you get so sweaty, you've got sweat dripping down on this switch.
Or water from touching the bonnet.
Or water from getting your hands wet if you're doing a lot of wet bonnet cleaning. And so we just put some plastic over it and sealed it on the ends, and it's open so air can get in there and everything, so it won't ruin the switch. And the other thing we do is the cord, we don't hang it off the cord hooks on the machine because I think they're a little bit sharp. And also, you know, if you wrap the cord the exact same way every time, it's going to start getting funny kinks and everything in it. Our rug doctor cord is all kinked up. So what we do is we just wrap it up a different way every time and stuff it into a bag and hang the bag off the hook. And that works pretty good. So he's getting done with that, and he's going to clean the machine a little bit. We're going to get the carpet rake. We're going to rake the carpets, and I'll show you what everything looks like when we get done. Okay, just rake the carpets with the Grandi Groom, which I've shown before, which is a great method for carpets. It digs down deep, and it manicures everything, makes it look nice. It also opens up the fire. All right, carpets are all freshly raked, basically almost dry. See the nap's been restored, everything's fluffy. Let's look at this one last room. And it's all raked and looking good. Now any darker little tinges that you see on camera, the camera picks up things you don't really see with the naked eye, and it's just little areas of moisture. When the carpet's completely dry in another hour, that stuff will disappear. I'm going to put in the video description below links for Oreck Orbiter and the accessories, and that way if you want to get some more information on the products, you can check the user reviews, manufacturer info, and also best current pricing in case you're thinking about buying one. And basically, that's it for this job. So until next time, thanks for watching.